Mr. Collins, could I have you introduce yourself briefly?
My name is Wilmot Collins, and I live and work here in Helena. I work for the Department of Health and Human Services, Child and Family Services Division. I'm also a member of the U.S. Navy, and I serve on several boards.
What is your job title?
Child Protection Specialist.
Okay, very good. And how long have you lived in Helena now?
I've lived in Helena, between Helena City and the county, for 23 years.
And is this your first time running for elective office?
Yes, it is.
Ms. Collins, why did you decide to run for mayor this year?
Well, there's several reasons why I decided to run for mayor. We've continued to live in our bubble. Each of us have our own bubble we live in. And I've come to notice that there are several things that are not being addressed. It could be addressed by the city. It could be addressed by the federal government. It could be addressed by somebody. But nobody's addressing it. One, we're looking at our continuous high veteran homelessness. We see them on the streets every day. We see them panhandling. Some of them are not real. Some of them are not true veterans, because I've spoken to the ones I see around. But we do have a problem. We look at our teenage homelessness. Between 2008 and 2009, we had only 20 teenage homelessness in our school district. Today, we're looking at 152. The problem is not going away. We continue to see our teens sleep in parks. I've met with several of them. We've continued to see our teens sleep in cars. We've continued to see our teens couch surf from homes to home of their friends. We need to bring awareness. We need to do something about that. And because nobody's doing anything, nobody's bringing awareness, that problem is increasing. It's not going away. And then look at our provider of essential services, our police. They've been short-staffed for a while. When I moved into this community, I saw police interacting with the public, riding their bicycles, at events, interacting. Nowadays, our police react to crime and do paperwork. They're no longer community policing. And that's bothersome for me. I want to be able to see our police fully staffed. I want to see our police interacting with the community again. And let's look at our firefighters. Our firefighters are short. Several years ago, in fact, a couple of decades ago, we're looking at so many calls in a year. Nowadays, we're looking at 5,000 plus calls, and we're short-staffed. I want to ask my community, what would you do if you call 911 for a firefighter or a police, and the response was, we will get to you when we can? How would you feel? How would you react? We need to fully fund the safety of this community. The safety of this community is in jeopardy, and I will not stand by if I can do something. That's why I'm running. Those are some of the reasons why I'm running. And I know we have other reasons. We have like attracting businesses. We can do all of those things. But my primary focus right now is the safety of this community. It's lacking, and we need to get on board, get out of our bubble, and do something about it.
All right, very good. What do you believe are your top qualifications for this position?
Well, I have an administrative background. I have a master's in human resources management. I have a bachelor's in political science and sociology. And the thing about running for public office, nobody goes to school to learn how to run for public office. Most times, you see things, you get passionate about it, and you get out there and get it done. and I know I can get it done. I also completed my doctorate in forensic psychology, coursework in forensic psychology. I'm working on my dissertation, but I put it on hold right now because of the elections. But I know I'm qualified. I've done a lot of administrative work. You don't need to go to school to do this. You need to have the passion. You need to have the zeal. You just need to get on.
What do you see as the #1 issue facing the city over the next 4 years?
There are several issues facing the city over the next 4 years. The city needs businesses into this. The city needs to be able to attract businesses. Should I be elected, I intend to work with the Chamber of Commerce to see how we can get this done. The city needs to continue to fund our essential services. That's a high priority of mine. We need to prioritize that. And so those two issues, I think they're on the top of my list. Attract businesses and fund our providers of essential services, the police and the firefighters.
You've talked quite a bit about services. What do you think can be done to improve services in this city?
When we talk about essential services, they're short staff. Look, like I said earlier, the police short staff. They can't do the things they need to do. What can we do? We need to fully fund them. We need to fully train them. The firefighters the same way, because they're so short staffed, they're not fully trained, they're not funded, therefore they're not doing what we hope they would do. They're not doing what we pay them to do. And it's not their fault they're not doing it. It's our fault because we're not funding it.
Very good. What do you think is going well in city government right now, and what do you think can be improved?
You know, I admire the openness of the city government. They have meetings, they invite the public to listen to on. That's great. But that's not all to it. And city government it's not an easy thing. You will have people, proponents, you have opponents, you have people that like what's going on, you have people that oppose what's going on. But you have to do the right thing. The leaders have to do the right thing. The leaders have to and sometimes morality comes into play, and people will have to, will have to get together and do what's right for the community.
You mentioned a couple. Are there any other issues that you feel haven't gotten enough attention from the Helena city government so far?
Yeah, I mentioned, the other two I mentioned were the veteran homelessness. I know people talk about, oh, but the federal government can do it. Why are we waiting for the federal government? These people are right in front of us. They're right here in front of us. Veteran homelessness is a serious, serious business. Teenage homelessness is a serious, serious business. And people tend to want to blame the feds. No, they're in our community. They're part of this community. Let's work on ways to see how best we can solve those problems. Those are issues that we just put on the back burner. We can't do that anymore.
From a philosophical standpoint, what do you think should be the role of the city government?
The city government should be the voice. The city government should be the ears, and the city government should be the moral leader of the city. They should listen to the people, they should deliberate, and they should execute.
Very good. Now, I know that you are running on a slate together with Commissioner Halliday and with Heather O'Loughlin. What is the shared agenda that you guys are running on?
Well, we all talk about bringing business into the community. That's one shared agenda. We need to see how best we can bring businesses into the community. When I read in the Independent Record the other day that the business that was supposed to take over the mall had backed out, it bothered all of us. And so we're meeting regularly to see how best we can collaborate and discuss with the Helena Chambers of Commerce to see how best we can bring businesses into this country. Because you need a vibrant community in order to fully fund our essential services. You need a vibrant community to meet the needs of our homeless veterans and homeless teens.
Very good. My last question then, what is the message that you want to leave voters with as they make their decision?
Helena, I want you to know that as your leader, if I'm elected as your mayor, I will listen, I will deliberate, and I will take decisive action. Vote for me November 7th because you'll be voting for a decisive leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Collins.
Thank you, Jonathan.